Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the ASRA Cup Series here for Season 5 and race number 11. We are in Milwaukee for the Cardano 150. Last week we were in Pocono. Nick Lights got the win. Who can get the win out here today? I will tell you what, these guys are battling out for the playoffs as we've only got 2 more races until the playoffs start. My name is Jacob Emery alongside Steven Tucker. Steve, I'll tell you what, this track is going to be maybe the most challenging track we've seen all season. What are your thoughts on today?
Man, I'll tell you what, after Rockingham and Twin Rig Motegi, I feel like this is the one that might give us a headache. Not us. I mean, we're in the booth. We're just chilling. Air conditioning behind us. I mean, just unlimited drinks. We're feeling pretty good today, Emery. And but right now, down trackside, these boys, almost 30 of them, going to be tough to get around this place. Loose conditions at the famed 1 mile Milwaukee Mile track. It's going to be a long day, but a lot of fun too, I think, at the same time.
Last week it was the Tricky Triangle, and I'll tell you what, this should be called the Tricky Mile because it is not an easy track to be doing. Right now they're in qualifying as they are starting. We got number 91 up there, the 31.16. He is on the pole, Mr. Merrick. See if that stays. Got a lot of drivers that have got to get on the track to make a time. But today, Milwaukee, 150 laps. We've got 4 sets of tires. Stage 1's going to end at 40. Stage 2 is going to end at 80 laps. And also, tonight we have Dash for Cash. So drivers Tyler Honeycutt, DJ Honeycutt, Nick Lights, and Matt Fleming are all going to be battling for that Dash for Cash for hardcore money, $30 on the line. Those drivers, those names are highlighted on the tower. Keep an eye on them. Whoever wins that will get that money. A lot of action here as we get along the season. Like I said, we only have 2 more races until we have that all-star race. And then we jump right into playoffs at Michigan. I'm saying these drivers at the end of this regular season are really battling. Last week at Pocono, I think we had the biggest competitions we've seen all season. I don't think anything's going to change tonight, Steve.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting down to it, right? I mean, playoffs start, I mean, really soon, within the month, right? I mean, next week, Darlington, then Road America, and then Talladega. So things are going to get spicy starting now. So a lot of drivers, you know, are in, but are they comfortable? Not necessarily. So again, competition's really pretty fierce this season right now. But this race is just going to be kicking off that. So a lot of cool storylines today. Cardano sponsoring today's race. We'll talk more about them today throughout the race. Also have a special guest that'll come in stage 2. Really cool to have them on board today, and some more races in the future. Love to see that. And then, hey, Dash for Cash, like you already mentioned, going to be fun there for sure. So all kinds of storylines today, Emery. Going to be a damn good day today.
Absolutely. We'll jump into that later. The story of the season, Brandon Six jumping out early with a huge lead as we're looking at the number 12 get a little sideways at the end of his run. 27 out there. He's running that extreme car. See what kind of time he can put out. But like I was saying, Brandon Six has kind of been the storyline, been to a big jump. He's out front in playoff points. Brandon Bowie's right there. Frankie Barroso, Pierce. Those are your top 4. I cannot wait to see what kind of driving's gone tonight. This is a hard track. I will tell you that. 1 and 2, 3 and 4 are just brutally tough. You got to stay on that inside lane. It feels like these cars are a little bit loose. Where's the passing going to be? What do you think the strategy is besides tires? I think tires will be the biggest strategy tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't see fuel being a big concern, which is nice. I think, you know, these drivers will be able to get through the stage 1 and 2 comfortably. Stage 3, depending on when cautions come, I mean, keep that in mind too. That might be a big play. But, I mean, to your point, tires will be an issue. This place is kind of a cheese grater. I mean, you know, so it's going to be interesting to see how they react on this, you know, on this track. The outside lines might come into play too later on, you know, if these cars get too loose or even too tight. So we'll see how that comes into play for sure. But Milwaukee Mile, man, this place has been around for so long, has always produced great racing. And to see these cars on this, it's kind of that New Hampshire clone in a way, right? I mean, Milwaukee Mile's a bit more rounder than a New Hampshire, but a bit flatter too. So right now it's going to be pretty cool to see what these guys can do today.
Yeah, it's on paper, looking at the track itself, it looks very simple, but when you're in the car, if we get a shot on the inside of how these drivers are handling the car and making these turns, kind of really give you a good idea of how challenging it can be. These guys enter 1 and 2. You really got to pick and choose when you want to get back on that throttle. Right here, as he's looking on goes way inside. This is a qualifying time. He's going to wrap the corner, gets a little outside, comes back. And he's on his way on the backstretch. That's Nick Lights in that 12. He's subbing tonight, but also he is there for the Dash for Cash. He is one of your drivers that can get that $30 payout.
Yeah, so cool news here for Nick Lights. Actually going to be taking over that 12 car for the remainder of the season. So Marshall Harris not going to be in that car. Nick Lights, you might know him from last season, obviously, in the Cup Series, but also in the Truck Series that the ASRA had for 2 seasons. He was the champion of both of those. So great to see him back in the ASRA on a full-time basis. Last week's winner from Pocono kind of snuck through after Smirkers and Six's antics on the last lap. If you haven't checked that out, go and check it out from last week. Very, very cool ending to that race. Nick Lights going to see what he can do remainder of this season, man. Emery, he's not playoff eligible or anything, but trophy hunting, I guess.
Yeah, trophy hunting for sure. He's already got a championship in the bag. That's for the Truck Series from last season. He's going to come out here and try to put everything he out on the line and get a win. That's Nick Lights. He's a fantastic driver. As we're looking at the number 11 now of Kenny Real. Been consistent all season long. He needs to put together a full package race and get a win. Maybe he can do that out here at Milwaukee. Again, 150 laps, going to be a long day. And 2 stages. Stage 1's at 40. Stage 2's at 80. I think the challenge is going to be tires. It's easy. It's very easy to burn those tires off early on in the race. You do not want to do that. This is a short track field, and you got to save those. You got to protect those tires at all cost.
Absolutely. Kenny Real coming down, tries to finish this lap, 24th currently. A bunch of drivers deciding not to qualify tonight, so we'll capture that in just a second. But Kenny Real ends his qualifying, 24th on the board now. Does not look like he's going to get better with that, so 24th it is for Kenny Real.
You know, one interesting thing, Jackson Anderson was really fast in practice. He had a penalty from last week's race at Pocono, so he cannot qualify. He's currently going to start from the back. Can he make his way through the pack to try to get a win today? That's wrapping up qualifying as it sits right now. Brandon 6 is on the pole in that 66. Merrick in that 91. That Chevy, he's in second. Devin in that Ford in that number 26. He's in third. DJ Honeycutt, that number 15, is in fourth. Mark Whitley is in fifth. That's your top 5 as they are on the grid, Steve. If they're going to line up, and you take it away as we go down the field. We've got a big field, 28 drivers here today at Milwaukee.
Yes, sir. Right now, we're getting down to the cut line. I mean, hey, 3 races after this left to go, and just the season overall. Right now, big time stuff going on. Brandon 6, obviously on the pole. Great job for him. Not on the grid yet, so we're going to skip him right now. Merrick Watchorn, P2, looking pretty good. He was really, really fast last week at Pocono. Looking to dominate again, see if he can get that first win of the season. Devin Smecker has that Cardano paint scheme today, looking really good. Not on the grid yet. We'll come back to him. DJ Honeycutt looking really, really good in that number 15 Dash for Cash driver. Mark Whitley today subbing in for that 39 of Joseph Mealy, last season's champion, season 4. Looking good there. Nick Lights right now starting in P6 in that 12. Those banners on top of the cars, folks, the orange and red, that will signify the Dash for Cash drivers, as well as the red on the tower itself. So keep in mind, those drivers will have the chance to get that Dash for Cash win today. Nick Silver subbing in for Brandon Bowie, season 3 champion. Good to have Nick Silver back today for sure. In P7, Roger Pierce rolling off P8, looking good. P9 going to be Tyler Honeycutt, another Dash for Cash driver. Man, this paint scheme, the second I saw it, Emery, I was blown away. This is so cool. Breast cancer awareness. I'll tell you what, he's driving it all October, and this is just one of my favorites I've seen so far. Very, very cool. Matthew Fleming, Dash for Cash driver, starting off P10, looking good today. Donnie Honeycutt rolling off P11. Awesome job. Julio Villalobos starting P12. Daryl Young, 13th place. Richard Woodruff, 13th. Josh Larson, 15th place. James Kaufman, 16th. Frankie Barroso, 17th place. Thomas Meeks rolling off 18th. Out of San Antonio, Mike Corvo, that 97. Love that pink right there. Save second base on the hood. Love that. Nick Simpson rolling off P20. fan favorite right there, Matt Smith in P21. Scott Gasor in 22nd. Richard Walsifer looking good today, rolling off 23rd place. Kenny Real 24th. Robert Hissong 25th. Jonathan Wright 26th place. Jackson Anderson again. Really, really nice breast cancer awareness paint scheme. Pink alternate. Rolling off 27th place. Again, got the EOL. So that's that today. Devin Smirker. There he is, that Cardano in Hosky number 26.
Man, what a fantastic car that is. For the Cardano 150, we're going to go green flag racing here. Brandon 6 is going to take us into turn 1 and 2. He's starting on the inside.
Lap 1 in the books right now, almost, Emery, but man, this is just, you can just tell these guys are just not comfortable. Loose conditions today at Milwaukee.
Yeah, some drivers were really liking the car a little bit loose. Some were saying it might be too loose. Time will tell. We've got single file up front. We got a big pack in the back as they're at 2x2. It's going to be fun to watch these guys try to navigate through this track to get these passes. It's not easy to do here. You're going to have to get that pass on the inside. But guess what? That's where the line's at. You got to stay on that inside to be fast here at Milwaukee.
Yeah, right here up front, Brandon 6, Merrick Watchorn going to try and track him down real quick. Lap 40, folks, will be stage 1 end. Uh-oh. Woodruff spins out in turn 1. Hold on to it. Yellow flag is out. Just got so loose coming across that stripe in turn 1.
Easy to do. Comes on the track a little sideways. That's going to draw out our first caution. About 3 laps down here. So we're taking another look at it here. We'll go back just a little bit farther. Man, good job by putting the brakes on. Didn't come back on the track and cause any more damage. It could have been catastrophic, but everything's clear there. Good recovery by him.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like it happened right back in turn 4. Looks fine right now. This blue car in the middle of your screen. Oh, in the braking zone. Comes down into turn 1 and just loses it. Luckily, it doesn't hit anything. Also doesn't hit anything. Man, just avoids that pit road exit. Or, I'm sorry, that ambulance exit right there. Opening in the track. And, hey, no harm, no foul. Keeps it going, but first caution of the day.
Yeah, typically we see a lot of these drivers getting aggressive at the end of the race. I think after Pocono, the gloves are off. These guys are going to be battling throughout the whole race. We might see a little more cautions as they get a little bit more aggressive at the end of this regular season. Everyone's going to be fighting for those points. And early on, you win that stage, you do get a playoff point. You get 1 playoff point for stage 1 win. Right now, Brandon 6 is out front. He will get that point if it stays. Nothing's changed up front too much. But real quick, just want to thank everybody being out here. Everybody at Race Day Live, thanks for tuning in. We've got huge viewership today. Love to see that. Admin's Box, Units Moving Portable Storage, Battle Beaver, Harpoon Designs, and Sim Motion. And obviously our proud sponsor, Cardano, here today. I'll tell you what, it's cool to be a part of that, or have them a part of this. Murphy will be coming in here to talk a little bit more after stage 1. We'll bring him in here. But hey, think of Cardano as a high-tech engine for online world, folks. It's powered new kinds of applications and transactions, making them run smoothly and efficiently, just like a top-tier NASCAR engine propels our race cars on the track. That is Cardano. Check them out on Twitter. Check them out online. And also, don't forget that Husky. Check them out as well. Steve, first caution of the day. We knew it was going to happen, but race goes on. We're going to go back green here shortly. No pits yet, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so early right now, right? I mean, there's no need for tires, changing tires and whatnot. You only get 4 sets today, so keep that in mind too. So, yeah, fuel right now, they can go all the way for stage 1 on fuel, so really shouldn't be a big concern right now. It's kind of just about that little bit of a sprint to get to that first caution.
Yeah, no, you're right. And as we're looking on the choose car, these guys are going to pick and choose the inside or outside lane. Something pretty cool that we do here for the ASRA Cup Series. Cool shot. You're right. I mean, right now, you're kind of just still trying to figure out the track. You got your practice time in, you got your qualifying time in, but once you get out there on the track with these other drivers, you got to figure out where your race speed's at. You got to figure out the tempo. It could change everything. You could be faster, you could be slower. And I think that's just what they're trying to do right now, is find that sweet spot. As we saw one car get loose, like you were talking about it, these cars are a little loose today. So
Yeah.
that could be challenging.
It will be for sure. I mean, yeah, this is going to be, and we're going to see it. I mean, throughout the race, there's loose conditions. I mean, right there in the braking zone, especially. I took my car out for a drive a little bit earlier, and for me, it was kind of like neutral or tight on entry, but very, very loose off, especially in turns 2 and 4. But it just depends on how you approach it, right? So we'll see how it goes throughout the race. Right now, Nick Lights currently in that third spot. He is leading that Dash for Cash. Dash for Cash, folks, works just like the championship race. The driver out of those 4 drivers who finishes ahead of the other 3 will be the Dash for Cash winner. So keep that in mind today as we watch this fantastic Cardano 150.
Absolutely. Love that we have that involved. These drivers can come out and battle for some hard-earned money, $30 on the line for the Dash for Cash winner of today. Pace cars off. We're going to go back green. 6 and Merrick in that number 1. Excuse me, 99 or 1 and 2. Devin with a big jump on the inside in that 26.
A lot of patience being shown, Emery, which is great to see. Conditions are definitely hard, but you can tell these drivers are tiptoeing around their competition.
Yeah, I think we've been seeing that all season too, and that just gives a lot of respect to each driver out here. It's just a good driving, you know, out here with these guys competing the way they are. So something we didn't see in season 4, season 5. That's all changed, and it's been fantastic races. As we've got another caution out here, maybe something in the back. We'll take a look and see what happened. Looks like it's Richard, possibly again Richard with the spin out.
Yeah, Walsifer here in the 56. Different Richard this time. but yeah, it looks like a spin out here. We'll go back and take a look. So Walsifer here. Yeah, in the 56. Oh man, slows way up for Thomas Meeks. And just goes around. So you had to kind of slam on it. Unfortunately, we'll go right back and take a look. Man, yeah, you see the 55 way in front of him slowing down. Walsifer had nowhere to go but to slam on the brakes and keep it going. So
yeah, big time check up there. He did a good job of putting those brakes on. He may have to come in, get some fresh tires after that. Might have put some damage on them as well. But man, too early caution, Steve. It's kind of not too much contact, guys. Just really trying to figure it out. Different braking points in each corner. I think the hardest thing, I was on this track as well, I think the hardest thing was staying on that inside and knowing when to come out of that corner properly. It's so easy to drift up. We haven't seen it too much. We got, you know, fresh tires up front, but later in this race, I think you'll see these drivers kind of start to advance out and maybe have some door contact, but we're going to get going here, Steve.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, hey, when we put it on the schedule, we knew, I'm like, man, this is going to be a fun time, because New Hampshire is typically, you know, it's hard, right? It's just a hard, you know, these flat 1 mile tracks can be difficult for braking and just for tires in general. And right now, Milwaukee is showing that. So I think once these guys get into a groove, I think we're going to be in good shape. But right now, we're going to go and thank our great sponsors, and we'll come right back.
And we are back in Milwaukee after our second caution. These guys are going to pick and choose what lane they want to be. And we'll go back to green flag racing 12 laps down. Looks like it's going to be out 13 to 14 laps as we get back to green. We've got to go all the way to the 40 mark. That's going to end stage 1. They will get a point on the playoff system. But also, as you see, the Dash for Cash guys up there, Nick Lights right now, if it were to end, if the race were going to end at this point in time, Nick Lights would be your winner, and he would receive that $30. So two types of races out here today. Obviously, we've got the main drivers out there that want to win, but also that Dash for Cash, they want to get some money on the board. We're going to go green flag here again here shortly, Steve. I think we'll get a long one here.
You think so?
I think so. I have a feeling that I think the nerves and all that stuff are out the window. These guys are going to go green for quite some time, but man, time will only tell.
Yeah, I mean, this is tough, right? This is a place where even if you practice, hours on end, like they were this weekend, I saw, it's a tough track. Right now, we're gonna go back green on lap 14. We'll see how this goes for sure, Emery.
As they cross, it'll be 14 in the books as the pace car's off. Nothing's changed up front. Brandon 6 off. Next to the 91 of Merrick. 2 Chevys out front. Brandon 6 gets a good jump.
Ooh, Roger Pierce, big time into the wall. Man. Keeps it going, though. Gets involved with Matthew Fleming, Dash for Cash driver in the 88. Maybe not terrible damage on the right side of that 88, but man, Roger Pierce.
We got another car spun here out the front stretch. Oh, big contact. Unfortunate there. 2 cars getting loose. That's Merrick in that 91. He was sitting second. He's going to drop all the way back. 27th now. Unfortunate early caution for him.
I'll tell you what, that right front tire, though, is not looking good. It is way towed out, or towed in, I guess, at this point. And man, that might be his day, unfortunately, for Merrick Watchorn. That's a tough break. He was looking so good, really, really fast, but that's the track, man. I mean, Roger Pierce right here as well had some issues on that last lap. 2 very, very fast drivers just, unfortunately, making mistakes.
Yeah, I made a mistake by saying we would go a long green flag because that was not the case. And unfortunately, this driver today, the first driver of the caution, that had some major issues, and he's going to have to get that car fixed. We're going to take another look at it.
Yeah, we're going to watch Roger Pierce first. Comes down. This is turn 1, turn 2 right here. Hits the apron right there. Not too bad. Little bobble. Man, just kind of gets snaps loose right there on a turn 2. Maybe not a whole lot of damage for him and Fleming. It's definitely salvageable, but man, then yeah, Watchorn right here comes out of 4 and just loses it completely.
Oh.
Yeah, Josh Larson right there gets tagged. We'll rewind this a little bit, see what we can figure out about Watchorn, but man, this is just a tough break all around.
Yeah, so early on contact there, no caution, and then we keep going around, and this is where the big one happens as he gets hit into the wall. I'm not sure if he's going to be back on the track. That is such a hard hit. Larson in the back, big contact in the rear. Larson's going to have some damage as well.
Yeah, just a tough break. I mean, Watchorn just got loose. I mean, right here, Josh Larson, we'll zoom in a little bit. He has some left front damage. Not terrible, but sizable. So we'll see how that race continues on for Larson. I can tell you not what he wanted for sure, but yeah, this is tough. I mean, big contenders out of the race already, or at least, pretty well hurt.
Yeah, no, we thought Rockingham was going to be a tough one, and they came out here and did a great job at Rockingham and made it a fantastic race. Here, struggling early here at Milwaukee, but Steve, I'll tell you, with the competition that we have for these drivers, they'll figure it out. They'll get back out here and know what they're doing and make it a show. But right now, 17 laps down, we still got to go to that 40 mark for stage 1.
Yes, sir. Yeah, this is one of those tracks, Emery. I feel very confident to say that. I mean, it's a hard track, right? Loose conditions, but I feel like this is a place where if you kind of just keep your nose down and you keep the car in front of you, the fenders on it, you're going to do really well, right? And this is, you know, we're going to see that from somebody. I've got a feeling at the end of this race, we're going to see somebody in the top 5, perhaps, that we're going to be like, man, they have not had a top 5 caliber season, but they kept their nose clean and they made it happen today. So I would expect we'll see that today for sure at some point.
No, you're absolutely right. And at Pocono, I want to say the guys were trying to do that, you know, early on in the race, and they didn't have time to make it back to the field. Right now, that could be a different story, though, at this racetrack. And you're right. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be awesome competition as we are now going to go back green flag. Try it again. 19 laps down. 6 is still up front on the inside.
Pretty good restart right here, turn 2 and turn 3. You can see everyone's different braking zone and acceleration zones, and in and out of these corners, everyone has a different. It kind of acts as a road course, Emery. Different braking zones, just different feels all around.
Yeah, and if you were practicing that inside the whole time, you got to realize that, hey, I got to run the outside as well. So it can be a challenge if you haven't been used to it. That's also different braking points. You got to come into the corner, come out, different paces. But man, 6 has figured it out early. He's up front, a little bit of single file, some side by side in the middle of the pack.
This place, Emery, it's all about finesse more so than it is about speed. If you can hold a pretty wheel, you're going to do just fine today. And right now, you're seeing it from a lot of these drivers just being smooth. Smooth on the throttle. Oh man, Nick Simpson hard into the wall at turn 4. Keeps it going. Josh Larson almost nowhere to go. Nick Simpson keeps it up and gassed up. Caution flag gets out though. Man, oh man. Not sure why. Oh, Woodruff. Again, looks like actually might have been the caution for this right here. Nick Simpson. We'll take a look real quick at this car. Left side's pretty decent, but that right side, I think, we saw in the foreground, or the background, excuse me, had some pretty big damage. Man, oh man, Emery.
Cautions bring out cautions as we're seeing it unfold. To talk about the field a little bit, Frankie, I was just going to say, Frankie Barroso in that 48, he's up 10 spots. He is sitting 8th. He's in that number 48 Chevy. Let's take another look, though, on this caution and see what brought it out.
Yeah, well, first of all, Nick Simpson coming down the front stretch, I believe right here, if not the next lap, was into the wall pretty hard. All right, so it's not going to be here, but we'll just kind of follow along for now. We have the time to do it. Gets tight right there, gets up into Roger Pierce. I mean, this is, if anything, this is a good replay to show, like, just different driving styles, right? I mean, you know, driving it hard or getting off early. It's very difficult. But Nick Simpson right here, we'll see. You can see him already out of shape right here. Snaps loose right there and then pounds the wall. Unfortunate. And then Woodruff. Oh, Fleming actually. So Fleming actually dove it in way too hard. That's going to be in the 88 of Matthew Fleming. Dives it in way too hard. Gets into Woodruff and sends him around. So that's going to be in the 88 right there for the caution at least. But Nick Simpson as well, pretty well beat up.
Yeah, that just kind of shows how easy it is to make a mistake and how challenging this track is. As both of those incidents, man, not much there, but it's going to cause you to have some major problems. As they actually went in and got some tires and some fuel, Steve. So they're back out there. Maybe a little bit of strategy coming into play early on. You're about a little over halfway from stage 1 end at 40 laps. Like I said, Steve, tires are going to be key. It is very easy to burn them up.
I think one thing we'll see too, Emery, is that, I mean, tires are going to be huge. Obviously, the damage these cars have, I don't think it's going to play a massive role into this. if this was like a 1.5 miler where aero, you know, might come into play a lot more, I would say so, but I don't think it's going to be, you know, that bad. If the wheel stays straight, I think they'll feel pretty good.
Yeah, it's just, you know, these guys coming in these turns and getting on the brakes, locking them up, that can chew the tires up, eat them up quite a bit. They are back on the track, 24 laps in, pace cars on. The lights will come off here shortly, and we'll get back to green flag racing here for the ASRA Cup Series Season 5. Brought to you today by Cardano, the 150 here at Milwaukee Mile. Love to see it. Love all the sponsors. Love everybody at home watching the race day live. Appreciate you being here. Like, follow, and tell your friends. Steve, I think for the most part, these drivers are going to figure it out. I said that before. I'm really telling you, it's going to be fun to watch these drivers figure this track out.
Oh, I think so too. I mean, at some point they will, right? It's just a matter of time. I think, you know, as the track cools down as well. I mean, right now it is an afternoon start time, so it's going to cool off. Grip levels will go up a little bit. I think we're going to be just fine at one point, but right now we got to get there.
Absolutely. I'll tell you, different lineup up front. Brandon Six is still in the lead. We got Mark Whitley in that 39, Nick Silver in that 26, Devin in that 26, Nick Silver in that 54. That's your top 5. As they're going to go back to the restart, we're going to go back green. Pace car is off. Brandon Six and Mark Whitley are going to take us into turn 1 and 2.
Great job, Emery. I think this is one of those tracks, one of those races that I think these drivers take stage 1 almost as a second practice. They kind of figure out the track, kind of figure out their competition, and then they set sail after that. So I think, to your point, I think they're going to figure it out pretty quickly here as we get going.
Yeah, one driver who was fast in practice, we talked about in qualifying, is that 83, Jackson Anderson. He's jumped up 14 spots. He's in 12th position. He's making a good run. They really like the way, one of the few drivers that really like the way this car handled.
He is looking pretty quick. Looking good right there. Young driver, so definitely has... Oh, man, Villalobos going around. Spinning around on a 4 again. No damage from what it seems like.
Well, Steve, maybe we need to get some maybe we need to get some cleanup on this track. I think there's some oil on the track somewhere.
Might be something.
Everybody's getting loose here.
Somebody
crazy.
Whip out that cat litter. We got to something's gonna happen.
We need to dry this track off as we're looking at dang, cause some contact in the... Ooh. Does he touch the barrels? He does.
He does.
That's gonna leave a mark for Julio.
We'll watch it
back a little bit farther. Yeah, Steve. Let's see what happened.
Well, he's around Jackson. We just covered Jackson a second ago, but comes around and just see you later. I think that's the trouble, Emery, is that I think one thing I noticed when I drove, and granted, I'm not the best driver in the world, but I mean, like when I was driving this track in practice and just kind of getting a feel for it, I noticed that you really want to make sure that turns 2 and turns 4, your exit of the corners, are as straight as possible. If you're still turning the wheel as you're, corner exiting, you're probably going to go around. So you don't want to necessarily diamond the corners, but you want to almost make the exit straight, And so far, everyone that I've seen spin out is kind of doing, or I guess not doing that, right? So that's the tough part about these flat tracks. In New Hampshire's the same way, especially turn 2, where you got to really make that exit straight to get off of that nice and clean. But tough break. A lot of drivers still figuring it out.
Yeah, you kind of explained it perfectly. It almost feels like a road course. You gotta take these turns at the right speed, right angle, everything, and come out it perfectly. Because if you don't, you're gonna make that mistake. And like you said, if you come in
Yeah.
too early, you try to get out, and you're on the throttle too fast, you're gonna turn. And we've been seeing it here today. So you're right. It's almost like a road course, but obviously an oval here at Milwaukee. Milwaukee Mile, man. It's been wild. 30 laps down, 31 laps now. We've got to go only 9 more laps, and we're going to end this stage. Who can get the first stage win? Brandon Six has been out front all day, but I'm telling you this. Once we get these big runs going, there's a lot of drivers already making their way through the field. Matt Smith is up 10 spots in that 29. That Chevy, he's in 11th. James Kaufman up 4 spots in that 12 right behind him. Frankie in that 48, he's up 9 positions. Another driver in the back, Jonathan Wright in the 04, that Ford. He's up 11 spots. He's sitting 16th. Man, oh man, it's going to unfold here, Steve. We're going to get it going. I'll tell you this. A lot of drivers with the big contact some laps down now. So that can change everything for them as well. Unfortunate for these early cautions and these early drivers getting some situations that they might not be able to get back on the track and compete.
Yeah, right now we're seeing on the tower, Merrick Watchorn is actually out of the race. Has some pretty bad right front wheel damage, so he's not going to be able to continue, unfortunately. So he's the only car out right now. Everybody else back there is not a lap down, which is great. A lot of the drivers are still trying to focus on fixing their on their damage. So
yeah, unfortunately, we've got a couple drivers way in the back. That's Nick Lights. He's one of the Dash for Cash drivers out here right now. Other guys, both the brothers, Tyler and DJ Honeycutt, they're up top. They're going to be battling for the $30 Dash for Cash.
yeah, Nick actually decided to come down pit road himself, so might be some strategy. Obviously, I mean, right now, you know, maybe you come down now, take the fuel, take the tires, and then stay out at the end of the stage knowing that cautions are kind of abundant. So strategy already being played.
Absolutely. Pace car lights are off here in Milwaukee for the Cardano 150. We're going to go back green. Devin and Brandon Six are now up front. Devin in that 26, that Cardano car. He's on the outside. Can you get around Brandon Six? Side by side in the back, 34 laps down. A little bit of single file up front. Brandon Six still looking strong. Matt Smith in that 29. He's in the middle of the pack. He's up 12 spots in 9th, right behind Daryl Young in that gray goose car.
Looking good so far. Lap 35. If a caution were to come out right now, that would end the stage. Oh man, Walsifer. This, woo, that might be it.
Hold on to it. Still green, Steve. Up front, we have this battle. Brandon Six and Devin. 39 right there of Mark Whitley. He's in that Chevy in 3rd position. Can anybody catch Brandon Six up front here? We only have 5 more laps to go.
Single file, Emery. We love to see it right now. Seems like, to your point, everyone's starting to slowly kind of figure out this track.
We're looking at Thomas Meeks kind of get pushed on the outside. It's a little bit stuck there. He gets back in line, almost touches Scott, and at 7, he's still on the outside. Thomas Meeks dropping a ton of spots here late in the stage. Now Kenny Rill in that 11. He's going to run on the inside. Thomas Meeks has some issues, it looks like. '83 of Jackson up front here gets a little bit loose. He's on the inside of the 04. Keeps it straight. 38 laps down now. We got 2 more until the end of stage 1.
Yeah, Jackson right now looking really, really good. P12, very, very impressive effort right here. Coming back from all the way 29th place is where he started. So a solid effort right now by that 83. Looking good today for sure.
Yeah, I think Jackson in that 83, it's really putting a lot of time trying to figure out this car and definitely figuring out this track this week. He's doing a really good job today, up 14 spots. Can he break the top 10 before the end of this stage? One guy who's really broke away is that number 66 of Brandon 6. He looks like he's going to get to stage 1 and add another point to the playoffs. That would bring him at 56 points for the season. As he crosses, he will get the stage 1 win.
Took a long time memory to get to lap 40, but Brandon 6 is going to be your stage 1 winner. Awesome job by him, obviously. Devin Smirker, fantastic job in that Hosky machine. Cardano as well. Tell you what's a good-looking scheme right there. Mark Whitley in P3. Again, he's subbing in for Joseph Mealy today. Couldn't make it, unfortunately. And then Nick Silver subbing in for Brandon Bowie. All kinds of subs in today, looking good. Some the pride of prior seasons of ASRA, so looking good. Love to see these guys back in here. But yeah, all these drivers, unique pit road entrance right here, kind of cuts in. We'll see what these drivers decide to do now. First big pit stops of the day.
Absolutely, it is challenging to get in there. Going to be fun to watch that unfold later in this race. And actually, the number 26, he did get into his pit stop. I thought he overshot it. He did not. He's clean. Looks like they're going to get 4 sets of tires here and get back on the track. 39 only took 2, looks like, in there. No, so did the 15.
Wow.
Strategy play in here early after stage 1. My opinion, I think 4 tires is where you want to go, but hey, everything can be blown out the window as well. My notes can be thrown away because I've been proven wrong before, Steve, so love to see that.
I mean, I think it's one of those things, right? These drivers know that, hey, stage 1, it was kind of chalked. A lot of yellows, a lot of just pacing arounds. They didn't really use those tires a whole lot. So you know what? Stage number 2 might be the same, might not be. Take the 2 tires on the right side, get out front, see what happens. It's a smart move.
I believe that. So right now, the number 27, Roger Pierce, is up front in that Chevy. That's number 12 of Nick Lights and Mark Whitley in the 39. As it sits true right now, Brandon 6 is going to drop all the way to 5th position after that pit stop. He took 4 tires. Same with Devin, the 26. He took 4. He drops to 6th position.
Yeah, we saw Nick Lights earlier, Emery, come down pit road kind of by himself, a caution before the stage ended. So right now, he's kind of sitting pretty. Looking pretty good there, too, up front. Lots of strategy being involved right now. Kind of cool to see. I mean, because strategy in general can happen, anywhere, but right now we're seeing it all over the place. I think these guys know that, man, track position is huge. It's just so hard to pass, but also so hard to control your car. And to get out front, to avoid all the mess behind, that might be the play.
Yeah, and I'll tell you here, Brandon 6 falls back. Maybe he thought everyone was going to get 4 tires and get back out there, but it's going to be hard for him to get through the field. Roger Pearson at 27 up front, clean air. He's going to be pretty smooth. I think he likes this position, even though he only has 2 tires. And obviously, Nick Lights, our winner from last week, he knows how to save those tires. Let's see if he can make a long run here in the 2nd stage.
Yeah, back to Roger Pierce. Don't count him out. I mean, he made a good move here. Didn't get a lot of damage in that early stage 1 incident. And, right now, obviously, going to have that front air, clean track. So we'll see what he has for him.
The whole top 10 up here. Tyler Honeycutt, Nick Silver, Jackson Anderson now is flirting with the top 10. In fact, I think he is in that 9th spot. These are all drivers that can make their way through this field and try to get to the top 5 And if it plays out correctly, might even get that win today. Kenny Reels dropping back here. He's in 16th. Watch out for him. And who we've talked about him all season is that Thomas Meeks in that 55 car. Right now, pace car lights are off. We're going to go back. Green flag here at Milwaukee for the Cardano 150. Green flag's out. Nick Lights and Roger Pierce going to take us into turn 1 and 2.
Looking good. Nick Lights making short work of the outside. Looking pretty good there. Roger Pierce, though, on the inside. What does he have for him?
Right now, we're going to see how comfortable Brandon Six is in those Ford tires, those fresh Ford tires, right on the bumper of a 39 of Mark Whitley. Brandon Six on the outside. Guess what? He's got to battle through all of this traffic. Let's see if he can make that happen. The 27 of Roger Pierce is on the inside. Looks a little bit loose. Back there, making it work. 12 now up front.
I told you pre-race, Emery, I said once these drivers figure out this track and how to race it, we're going to see some incredible racing. And right now, we're seeing that at the front of the field.
Yeah, stage 2 is unfolding to be absolutely fantastic as we've got a battle up front here. Brandon Six is on that outside. I don't think he wants to be there. He needs to fall back in line and get back in that groove. Now the 26 is going to pass him. Does Brandon fall back a couple spots? Number 15 knocking on the door. That's DJ Honeycutt in that Toyota.
Anderson right here, real quick, had some issues. Got further back in the pack right now. Finds himself 14th place, so getting back to it.
Frankie in that 48. He's touching the top 10 position. Can he make a charge? 47 laps down. We got to go all the way to the 80 mark here in stage 2.
Tell you what, Nick Lights holding on to that top spot pretty handedly right now. Again, has newer tires, but they are a little older than the drivers behind. We're seeing right now, Emery, that track position might be king here.
You're absolutely right there. Nick Lights way up front now. Way up front, got that clean air, doing a good job. Mark Whitley in the 27. Check out this battle. They're side by side. 27 now pushed on the outside with Brandon Six.
Pierce still making the outside lane work pretty well. Going to give it up here, but holding on for sure.
Brandon Six in the back almost thought about diving it down, making it maybe 3 wide. Made the better choice as he gets right behind Devin in that Ford. Oh, 6 in the 27 contact.
Yeah, tough battles right now. I mean, Pierce, the damage might still be hurting him a little bit, but the car looks pretty good, so I don't think that's a major factor right now. Nick Lights, though, has figured something out, and he is on a charge right now. Also, Dash for Cash. He is the leader of that, so keep that in mind as well. Last week's Pocono winner. Further back in the field, though, big battle still shaping up. Cannot forget about these guys. Nick Simpson, man, way up high in the groove. Has some damage to that right side of the car, but trying to hold on to it.
Gotten at number 7. He's in that Chevy. Just kind of running his game, running his track. Not a whole lot going on back there, but Scott is keeping it clean. Can he stay there till the end? Donnie Honeycutt, Jonathan Wright. He's actually up 9 spots, but he's still in 18th. Can he make a charge late?
Right now, we're seeing Richard Woodruff right here. He's a 1 lap down. Josh Larson right behind him, also 1 lap down. So right now, they're going to fight each other for that lucky dog position. Tell you what, Jackson Anderson looking strong. Kenny Real right behind him, though, too. This group right here, they've got a lot of promise, Emery, for the future of this league. A lot of good drivers right here, and just getting better and better as they go. I mean, Thomas Meeks, man, he's been here since day one, and he has just gotten better and better. Love to see him competing for top 10s, top 5s once in a while. Really, really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, you're right. Thomas Meeks, always in the mix. What I love to see this season is these drivers coming out and really putting the time in and putting the practice. These guys that are in the top 10, they're just not coming in the race and winging it. They're putting in the time, and that's why you're seeing it happen. Number 11, Kenny Real, actually just made the pass on Thomas Meeks in that 55. So he can make a charge here. He's up to 14th spot in that Jordan Chevy. I don't think Kenny Reels ran any other car than that Jordan paint scheme. He's part of the Bowie Esports.
I'll tell you what, Kenny Reels is one of those guys, man, when he's on, he is on. And he showed that at Twin Rig Motegi a couple weeks ago. He was a very, very strong contender right there for sure.
Yeah, the thing about Kenny, real quick, he's a young driver, but he's kind of got that old school mentality. You know,
yeah.
He doesn't let anybody push him around, and that's what you got to have, especially in this league. You got to be confident, and if you're not, you kind of get ate up. But right now, he's doing good. As we're jumping up top there, that number 18 of Daryl Young in that Grey Goose machine. Love to see that car. One of the cooler paint schemes out here. Rocking a little bit of pink.
Battle for the lead right here. Mark Whitley gets around Nick Lights. Fresher tires, about 6 or 7 lap newer tires. So gets around him right there for P1. Way outside though, hold on. Looking good though.
That one little mistake. You could find yourself losing some spots as we're on board now. Nick Lights on the outside, trying to make it work. I think Devin's doing a really good job in that 26. He's just being patient. He's doing his race, letting the race come to him, and then also I think Brandon Six is doing the same thing. I think he's just hanging back, letting it happen, let it unfold. Now, Mark Whitley at 39 gets a huge jump out front. Devin's going to get the pass on the inside of 12. Mark Whitley's dropping back to 3rd.
Yeah, I think the tires here, Emery, actually mean a lot more than what these drivers are putting on. I think that especially the rear end tires, they slide around so much. You want to hold on to those so you get better acceleration and grip off the corners. And right now, I mean, Brandon Six, obviously, these top 4 are trying to do just that.
Talk about some old school names. Mark Whitley, Brandon Six, Nick Lights, Nick Silver. My, oh my, that is some competition up there in that top 5. Devin, that 26, got his work cut out for him. Also, that number 27, Roger Pierce in the Chevy. Can he get out here and break that top 5?
Hey, this worked out for Roger. I mean, look at, he started off, you know, that stage. Hey, he got a lap led. Great to see that extra point right there. And right now has a net gain of about 20 spots. So even though he's kind of fallen back, you know, a little bit here, the second that they get a caution or even the stage 2 ends in about 20 laps, it's going to be huge for him because he's going to gain all these spots and then get on the same tires as the leader. So really great to see.
Absolutely. Also great to see everybody in chat at Race Day Live. Thanks for tuning in. We've got some Robert Hassong fans. He's in that number 8, actually up 13 spots. Doing a really good job in that Bass Pro tracker car. A little bit of camo on the side. "61 laps in now as they cross. We got a ways to go, 80 mark, a lot of time left." Steve, while we're going green here, do you want to bring in Murphy? Kind of speak a little bit more about the Cardano 150?
Absolutely. Trying to sneak him in.
Absolutely. I think we're going to bring him in here right now. Brian Murphy, do you got a copy?
Yeah, 10-4, guys. How you doing?
Good, Brian. How are you doing? You're up here in the booth with me and Steve. It's been a fantastic stage 2, but I want to bring you up here, kind of just talk a little bit more about this race and the car that you're sponsoring.
Yeah, really exciting times for Murphy Esports. You know, I think Devin's hitting his stride late in this regular season, heading to playoffs. having a lot of performance here in the last 5 or 6 weeks. And then also bringing on Cardano and Husky has just been an incredible partnership. You know, it's something me and Devin looked out for was a sponsor that we could get along with and that we could share, you know, our passions of the digital business and social sphere. And you know, the fun part about this is these people are really, really into showcasing their name and everything they have to offer. And you know, the Cardano and Husky people are just so much fun. They're so helpful if you're looking into getting into the crypto world. These are the guys you need to talk to. They're just, you know, so welcoming, and it's really cool. Like I said, they're passionate about motorsports. We see Cardano and Husky on Trent Barnes' late model stock that recently ran the big Martinsville race. So just a really cool partnership we have going on. Something I'm excited that's not only going to help Murphy Esports, but also this great series as well.
Absolutely. We appreciate you coming in here and bringing these drivers in, putting on the sponsor. That number 26 car now is actually up front, Brian. So, hey,
He won.
good looking out for him. He's out front and doing a fantastic job.
Yeah, no, it's perfect timing, right? Like I said, I mean, Devin's been on it lately. You know, really proud of his design skills as well. I mean, a beautiful looking car for these folks. But he's also got that thing up there running strong, running fast, and this is, like you guys said, a very, very difficult racetrack. I mean, to not be too loose in, but to get the car to turn in the center is just so difficult here, and have that very important drive off. You see Six and a lot of guys taking maybe a different line where they're driving straighter off, but you know, having to baby it into the corner a little bit more. But yeah, it's fun just to watch these guys work around their pit strategies and their the way they drive these cars around the racetrack. It's just so much fun. And it's these guys are just constantly showcasing how good they are. I mean, we talked about at Rockingham, Twin Motegi, Pocono, just a bunch of great driving that we see week after week.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate you coming in here and talking a little bit more about the sponsors. We appreciate you being here. You're huge on social media. Go check him out. That's Brian Murphy. He is on Twitter. Go check out Cardano. Go check out Husky. So right now, we actually had a caution as we were talking to Brian, and looks like Mike actually got in some trouble.
Yeah, man, Mike is in rough shape right now. Coming off of turn 4, I believe. Has some pretty significant damage. That'll definitely end his race. Gonna cover it real quick. Yeah.
Yeah, tough. Some big contact. I was watching on board there.
Yeah,
unfortunate.
But he's behind Jackson Anderson right now in the 83. He comes down to turn 3. Hits the apron just a little bit, but that doesn't seem like that's gonna be the cause. It's a little loose right there, but it's not going to be it. So let's just fast forward a little bit. Try and get the better look. Here we go. So behind Jonathan Wright, coming off turn 4 right here. Ooh, just cut. Right for it. Oh man.
Oh.
Right.
We talked about this, Steve. We talked about this early on in practice, how easy it is to come off that corner, get loose, and accidentally go into the pits. But guess what? There's some barriers there. You can actually accidentally hit those, and that's going to be the end of his day. Unfortunate for him, as he just got way loose coming out of that corner.
Yeah, it's tough. We're going to watch on board right now.
Yikes.
Yeah. That is a race ender right there, unfortunately, but either way, I mean, Devin Smirka right there leading the race. Hey, big shout out to Brian Murphy again for coming in, talking to us. Love to hear about, obviously, Cardano and Husky. And hey, by the way, go check them out too. All Things Go podcast. Anywhere you listen to podcasts, they're going to be on board with us for some more sponsors in the season. So cannot forget about them. Great. Just overall NASCAR podcast and All Things Go, really. So yeah, go check them out, man. But hey, right there, tough break for Mike Corvo. But we're gonna get back to it. So far, stage 2 was green. So I mean, definitely a good situation for so far. Better half of the race, or better stage 2 of the race so far. But Devin Smirker, man, he's showing off right now.
Yeah, I think he is. It's pretty cool to have him up front, and the team owner comes here and talks about the car, and then he's up there in the lead. And man, he's in that Ford, a driver today to watch out for. I think he's liking this track now. He's figured it out. 27's right there up there in the Roger Pierce. Frankie's up there, DJ Honeycutt, Kenny Real, top 5. Man, got a lot of different drivers in this top 10. It's changing quite a bit late in this race.
Hey, one thing I want to cover real quick. What we saw Nick Lights and Roger Pierce do for stage 2, we're seeing Brandon Six and Nick Silver do the same thing now. They just pit right there for 4 fresh tires. This is going to be interesting to see how this plays out. They should be starting off stage 3 at the front. We'll see how that transpires. 10 laps to go until stage 2 completes.
70 when they cross. Pace car's off. 26 of Devin in that Ford. That Cardano car's up front. He's going to take us into turn 1.
Two wide all the way back right now. Going to be 3 wide here, maybe on turn 2. Not quite. Tyler Honeycutt making a great move here in that pink number 3. You cannot miss that car. Matt Smith on the inside too, following suit. 3 wide though. Brandon Six in the middle.
Man, oh man, Jackson on the inside of this 3 wide. Do they go clean? They do. Jackson gives a little bit of tap to the 66. Robert Hassan goes way outside. He's going to drop a ton of spots, but this battle up front, 3 wide is crazy at Milwaukee. Now you're going to have Kenny Real on the outside. We got caution out. Cars loose in the back.
Man, big wreck involving Kaufman, Woodruff, and Lights. Coming off turn 2, that
In that 4 car. He's in that Toyota. And multiple cars here. Not too much damage. Ooh, slide there. Nick Lights got a little tap at the end.
Yeah, so that number 12, the yellow right there. Robert Hassan comes down. Yeah, man. His song just comes down here. He is way out of shape up against the wall. His song, we'll watch that back once more, but...
Man, oh man, that's a tough one there.
Yeah, his song's way out of shape. Comes down. I don't think he thinks he's 3 wide right here. Comes down into the just the right side of Nick Lights and Kaufman. Just unfortunately makes a mess, but yeah, I don't think anybody really got some severe damage right there, but that's still a tough break for a lot of these guys fighting for these spots, fighting for points especially.
Yeah, we're gonna have quite the shootout at the end of stage 2. I think a couple more laps would have ended that, but right now it's going to be about a 5-lap shootout to the end of this stage. If it ends right now, you're going to have that number 26 of Devin, your sponsored car. He's going to be P1. Now, a couple of these other guys, we were talking about it. DJ Honeycutt, he's right there. He's a Dash for Cash driver. Can he get the win on stage 2? He also wants to try to get a win on this Dash for Cash. $30 on the line again, Steve. Big money.
Man, he came so close last week to winning Pocono after the last lap, and he was right in position right there. Just Nick Light snuck kind of past him to get that win, but DJ Honeycutt, I'll tell you what, his win is coming. He has just been impressive everywhere we go, and today could be the day, honestly. I mean, Dash for Cash on the line. I mean, P2 right now looking good. That's the mark of a championship season, I think, right? Is that, not to say this track is a weak track for him, but champions typically do really well at tracks that they're not necessarily great at. And, this might be one of those tracks for him. Just, I don't know, man. For me, DJ Honeycutt, just really, really impressive everywhere we go.
Yeah. Through the field, Jackson Anderson up 17, Kenny Real up 16 spots, Matt Smith, Frankie, they're all made their way up in the top 10. Can they stay up here and do what it takes to get the win out here today? Any one of these drivers can make that happen. We're going to figure out who's going to get the win on stage 2. As they cross, we're going to only have 5 more laps to go. We've got to go one more time around, and we'll get back to green flag. Thomas Minks, man, we talk about him quite a bit. He's in that 55, been consistent all day. Can he stay out of trouble? Seems like every week he comes out here is doing really good and just gets caught up in some sort of caution. Hopefully today he can put it all together and make it work.
Yes, sir. Right now going green back on lap 76. So this will be, hey, if a caution comes out between now and the stage end at lap 80, that's going to be it. So we'll see if Devin Smirker here can lock down a stage win. Would be great to see that for him in that Cardano machine. Get that extra playoff point right there for him. But hey, Roger Pierce, DJ Honeycutt, Tyler Honeycutt right there in that 4th position too. They've got something to prove, so watch out for them.
Absolutely. If Devin gets a good jump, he's going to be hard to catch. 27's now starting on the outside. Not the easiest. Car's off. We're going to go back green. Devin, the 26, that forward. He does get a good jump. He's up front. Side by side in the back. Tyler Honeycutt, Kenny Reel got a fantastic jump. He's in 5th.
Kenny Reel, oh, big
66
shake.
getting some contact. Kenny's in the back.
Caution flag is out. Frankie Barroso, big damage. And then Kenny Reel as well. That's the caution right there. That'll end stage number 2. Because we are within that lap, the 5 laps. We'll go back and watch that in a second. But Devin Smirker going to be your stage 2 winner. What a fantastic job by him with that number 26 machine. Roger Pierce going to be number 2 in that 20. I'll tell you what, this strategy by Roger Pierce, watch out for it. I'm liking it more and more as I watch his race progress. And then DJ Honeycutt, Tyler Honeycutt, 3 and 4. Daryl Young Jr., P5. So I'll tell you what, Chrome Gooses are on the loose tonight. Looking pretty good today. Love that. Chrome Goose, the name of Roger Pierce's and Daryl Young's team, for anybody who's not aware. But yeah, so great job today for them. And that'll be it. Stage number 2 complete. Emery, tell you what, we started off stage 2 strong with green flag pit stops. I'm sorry, green flag racing. And now, hey, it's picking it right back up again. Right past the halfway point.
Yeah, no, you're right. And hey, big shout out to the number 26 of Devin getting that win. It's going to put another point on the playoff system. It's going to bring him up to 5 points. Everything counts right now. We're getting to the end of this regular season. I believe we only have 3 more races left. And then we are off to the races in the playoffs. As we're watching these guys come off the pits, they are off to the races as well. 26 gets out cleanly. Roger Pierce at 27 right behind.
Very tight exit of that pit stall right there. You can see it kind of squeezes it, bottlenecks down. So great job so far. Not seeing any pit road incidents. Emery, we did a pretty bad job of not interviewing our stage 1 winner, Brandon 6. So we do apologize for that. But we'll bring in stage 2 winner, Devin Smirker, right now. Tell you what, short track's gonna be fun, man. It's just caution laps are so quick. Sometimes you just forget about normal normal things to do. But see if we can sneak in Devin. Exactly.
Nope.
Hey, Devin, it's Stephen Emery in the booth. You got me?
Yes, I do. How you doing, guys?
Hey, man, looking pretty strong right now in that Hosky and Cardano machine, 26. I have a feeling you snuck away, won that stage 2. Got a pretty fast hot rod today, man. How are you gonna win this race?
Yeah, it's I've been super thrilled with this number 26 Hosky Cardano Ford Mustang. Brian gave me a good car, as always. That's not a shock. He's been great on top of the box. We're just gonna play it safe here. These restarts have been kind of treacherous. I think we've showed race winning speed. We got a little bit of a tire advantage over these guys in front of us. So last restart, or last stage, we drove from 7th to 1st using that same advantage, and looks like we're going to restart 7th here again. So let's go do it again.
Hey, love it, man. Good luck rest of the way, and we'll see you at the end. We hope. Have a good time.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. We'll see you in Victory Lane.
Well, Steve, I think
hell yeah, love
Devin
that confidence.
Definitely. Yeah, absolutely. I was just going to say that Devin definitely has the confidence out here to get this win, and I think he has the car. I think it's fast enough out here to do it. So, man, big shout out to him. Watch out for him. He's in 7th, but he's going to make his way back through 80 laps down. This is where we go all the way to the end, the 150 mark. Brandon 6 stayed out. He's out there in front. He's been tough all season once he has that clean air in front of the group. 54 of Nick Silver as well has stayed out. He's right behind Brandon 6. Donnie Honeycutt in that 22. Josh Larson, excuse me. I think, yeah, he's in the 4th in that 51. And then Mark Whitley in that 39. That is your top 5. As we go back green, Steve, this is going to get wild and wild at the end of this race. As the pace car comes around one more time, he is going to jump off the track. And we are going to go back racing. Brandon 6, Donnie Honeycutt. Brandon with the big jump out front. Donnie kind of a little bit slow on the outside.
Yeah, a bunch of drivers Emery that got into wrecks earlier. Roger Pierce, Josh Larson in the front right now. So a lot of surprises. But right now they're making it work.
Josh Larson started 11 positions back. He's now in 4th position. Can he stay up there? He's got a little bit of damage on that car, but he looks like he's making it work. He's got to battle Mark Whitley and Devin in that 26 in the back. They'll be knocking on the door here shortly. Josh Larson picking that inside lane a little bit. He likes that side. Watching him let up just a little bit more than other drivers coming in these turns.
Man, Thomas Meeks gets way out of shape out of turn 4, but holds on to it. Great effort right there. Keeps going.
And this battle right now with Devin in the 26, Roger in that 27, and Josh doing everything he can to stay up front. As you can see, kind of looks like Roger's a little bit faster into that corner, but Josh Larson's coming out a lot smoother. We were talking about it earlier. You got to be really smooth around this track.
Yeah, I mean, Josh pre-race, he told me that, man, this is going to be, you know, once it gets like single file, it's going to be so hard to pass. But Josh is obviously making it work right now. He had damage early, finds himself in P4 right now, passing Donnie Honeycutt. So he's got something for him tonight.
Jackson Anderson in that 83 knocking on the door behind these 3 cars as they battle. Jackson running his race. Probably save a little bit of tires. They got to go a long ways to the end of this one. 150 laps here at Milwaukee.
I'll tell you what, it's a whole lot of Hosky right there in the back end of Josh Larson. Devin Smirker, he said it, P7 to P1. He can do it. He did it before in this race. Right now, we're going to be passing Josh Larson on the inside. Tell you what, Smirker looks very fast tonight.
Yes, indeed. Crazy battle here with the brothers, DJ Honeycutt, Tyler Honeycutt, and then you got Daryl Young trying to fight off Jonathan Wright in the 04. He's in that Ford car. He's going to go inside of Daryl to get the pass.
Hey, another one, John Wright. Really, really impressive. Just his ability to get from the back of the field to the front of the field. He's had some kind of bad luck here and there throughout the season, but today it's just a great example of what he can do in this just in the season alone. I mean, he in that 04, back of the pack to the front, kind of quietly, not really involved in many wrecks, just getting through it, just procedurally, you know, lap after lap, just passing the cars he has to. Very smart and efficient.
Looking really good right now. I guess they call that sneaky fast as he's sneaking his way through the field. Almost going to be in that top 10 position. He's got to get past Tyler Honeycutt in that 3 car.
A couple of drivers back here. Scott Casorn, again, quietly in P16, having a pretty good day. Not involved in a lot of messes. Having a solid run right now. Robert Hassong was involved in that incident way earlier. I believe got the EOL for that caution. So right now, making his way back up. Obviously a fast car, fast number 8. So a lot of drivers, Emery, kind of coming and going right now.
Absolutely. Julio's back up there too in that 78. He got some damage early on. He's sitting 18th, but not out of it. Thomas Meeks fell all the way back here in the 55. He's in 17th in that Chevy. Kind of a battle in the back. Not a bad position to be in. If you just save and save and save, we may have a green flag pit stop. You know how those work out. As we're looking at the 46. Chopping to the inside, 89 laps down.
Ooh, doors the 78 just a little bit. Nick Simpson tell you what, Nick Simpson's season hasn't been going probably as great as he's wanted it to go. But I'll tell you what, he's got the determination, he's got the passion to do it. He's learning every single race, right? And I think that, to me, is the most evident thing. Every race he's getting better and better and stronger. I feel like at the end of this season, we're going to see Nick Simpson just in his absolute prime. He's getting there, man. He's looking really good lately.
Absolutely. And, you know, Nick Simpson, the 46, you're right, hasn't probably had the best season, but some of these other guys, you would say rookie drivers from the past, a couple seasons ago, look at them now. They're up there in the top 10, just, you know, having a day and really having a great season 5 for them. So love to see that. And I think Nick Simpson, if he sticks it through next season, he'll get it together and he'll be one of those guys really compete. Right now, he's in 19th. Can he make his way through the pack?
Quick update on the Dash for Cash drivers. Keep in mind, all the drivers in the red on the tower are the drivers who are fighting for that Dash for Cash. And right now, DJ Honeycutt is leading that group in that 15. His brother, Tyler Honeycutt, right now in 10th place, 2 spots back. So DJ is the leader of that. Doing a great job right there. Matthew Fleming, right back in 13th place. Tell you what, earlier had a pretty massive wreck in stage 1, but so far has held on to it, making a comeback right here. And the Nick Lice, unfortunately, back in 22nd place, has some significant damage, but again, is just kind of getting back to it, making it work. Repairs needed, but definitely a fast ride for him. That number 12 machine, again, won last week at Pocono, so he's got the car, he's got the knowledge to do it. We'll see what he has second half of this race, but up front, Brandon 6, he's gone. But Devin Smirker,
he really is.
Devin Smirker, man, right now in the 26 car, 4 seconds back, but he is just gaining and gaining.
Yeah, that confidence right there. He's really making the car work for itself. He's doing a great job holding his line. If he can just stay consistent, I think he can track down Mark Whitley and Brandon 6. Nick Silver subbing today in that 54. He's been real good today, solid as can be. He's up 3 spots. He's in 4th. Just hanging back there, knocking on the door. Love to see that. He's subbing for Brandon Bowie today.
Yeah, quiet day for Nick Silver, honestly, but very, very good. Very, very fast. This track is tough, and I'm sure this isn't one that he exactly had on his bingo card of one to sub for Brandon Bowie, so might take some acclimation. I know Nick Silver's not really, doesn't really race this car a whole lot nowadays. He typically drives the Xfinity car or, you know, things like that. So, but right now, hey, to be able to hop into a next-gen car and just, you know, go at it and ride around in that top 5, it's a pretty solid effort for him right now. So a great job on board for him. But I'll tell you what, Emery, one guy I'm watching right now is that 83 Jackson Anderson in P7. Started dead last, up 19 spots, and just so impressive today.
Yeah, give credit where credit is due, and I'll give it to Jackson Anderson all day long here. He started in the back, like you said. He had issues last week, and that's why he did start in the back, but now he's found himself in the top 10 in 7th. He's up 19 spots. He's so fast out here. He's been practicing, putting some really good qualifying time and practice times, and he's doing a great job, as you can see. That number 83, watch out, Jackson Anderson.
Yeah, very, very impressive right now. Great to see Devin Smirker back in P3, still 4 seconds back, but I think one thing that we haven't really talked about is the strategy, right? I mean, right now, Devin has about 10 laps newer tires, same, I believe, with Mark Whitley. So, I mean, as Brandon 6 is kind of setting sail, that tires might come into play later on. This race, Emery, knock on wood, is right now going very, very well in the sense of green flag racing. So I'm sure we're going to see a caution here momentarily, but just kidding. So right now, it's...
I'll tell you what, Steve, if I've ever heard of a bigger broadcasting curse, I think that might have been it. It hasn't come out yet, but if it does in the next lap or two, it's your fault.
I'll own it.
90 laps down.
I will own it this time.
Yeah.
But yeah, really, really good. A big shout out too, by the way, everybody in the chat who is either a part of Cardano or Hosky or part of that family. Big shout out to you guys for being here and showing up. Really appreciate you showing up and just having fun with us. tonight in the Milwaukee Mile. So hope you guys like what you see, and hoping we're representing and showing off your brand as best we can. I'll tell you what, we're having a lot of fun, Emery. I know I am, and just really impressed by a tough track, tough conditions. Right now, Jackson Anderson getting around Josh Larson again. Jackson Anderson finds himself P6. So just a crazy good drive for him today. And DJ Honeycutt as well.
Yeah.
So just an awesome job all around. A lot of pink cars up at the front. Breast cancer awareness for the entirety of October. So a lot of heavy hearts for sure. I know a lot of the drivers here have been affected by breast cancer in some form or fashion, family members or wives, mothers, things like that. So definitely going to be a great awareness as we go throughout the month of October.
Yeah, these cars will be having some pink on them throughout this month. It is really cool to see. Man, 101 laps down. Brandon Six still up front, way ahead of the field right now. But big shout out to everybody at home too, Steve. I just want to say hi to everyone at Race Day Live. Thanks for tuning in every week. Today's been a really good outing. Big turnout for you guys, viewership-wise. We love to see it. Tell your friends and family. As Steve, you're right. These drivers have figured it out, and this has been a fun end of this race here in Milwaukee. Took a little bit.
Yeah.
But I love to see what we got right now.
Yeah, stage one, it's just the nerve. Ooh, Matt Smith, hold on to it. Right behind. Ah! Keep it straight. Yellow flag going to be out right here. This is going to be absolutely huge for strategy. We'll talk about that in just a second. Man, Matt Smith goes around. Emery, I'm blaming you on that one. And
yeah, I will own that one.
But Matt Smith goes around, got loose right there. Again, older tires, so definitely expect that to be part. Man, James Kaufman, unfortunately, looking like a wheel and modified, and not good. He was involved in that wreck in stage 2, I believe, early on. Haven't talked much about him, unfortunately, but just because of that damage. But man, I'll tell you what, James Kaufman, just a bad outing today. But Matt Smith goes around, no damage. Take a look back and see.
We'll take a look at that. Matt Smith been consistent all day. He's sitting 13th in points, so he needs to come out here and have a good race. He can be flirting with that top 10 overall in points for the season. Right now, got a little sideways. Not sure if there's big contact or not. We're going to take another look here. Go back a little bit farther. There's Matt Smith in that 29 Chevy.
Yeah, kind of gets slideways, as Daryl Waltrip used to always say it, coming out of turn 2 there. Turn 4, I believe, is where we see the catastrophe. Looks like he's trying to dive in the corner a little bit. Ooh, Nick Simpson maybe plays a role into this. Not quite.
It's hard to say there. He made it. I thought he hit wall a little bit. Maybe some contact. So let's take another angle.
It's just a tough break. It just looks like Matt Smith just gets loose with a turn 4. Nobody hits him. Nothing crazy. Similar to how we saw drivers before. Villalobos earlier, Mike Corvo. Just getting into that out of turn 4. It's so loose. Very, very difficult. But right now, this is big time because a lot of drivers here, I mean, do you pit? Do you not pit? It's coming down to the wire of when you can pit and when you can't pit. Right now, we're, I believe, just outside of the window. So this is going to come down to, man.
I really think... Yeah, I think Brandon Six and Mark Whitley. Brandon Six for sure has to come down and get some tires. I could be completely wrong there, but I think at this stage of the race that Brandon Six will need to come down and get some tires.
Absolutely. Right now, the choose rule going to be coming into effect. So right now, as all these drivers come down and choosing their line, we're going to go thank our sponsors real quick, our channel sponsors. We'll come right back.
And we are back here in Milwaukee. It looks like everyone has gone down, got some tires, got some fuel, and 106 laps in. We got to go to the 150 mark. Steve, I think they can make it all the way to the end of this race.
Yes, sir. I think so. I mean, they went all the way in stage number 1, and right now about 47 laps to go. 42. Math is hard right now. We're going back. Green Emery, take it away.
Pace cars off. Green flags out in Milwaukee. Brandon 6 still up front on the inside. Mark Whitley in the 39. He drops below, right behind 6. Nick Silver, Devin in that 26. Roger Pierce, all right in the mix. 2x2 in the back. Single file front. And we got a change up front here. Mark Whitley's going to pass Brandon 6 on the inside. Can he carry the speed? He does. 6 is going to stay on the outside.
Hey, I've watched this movie before, Emery. Mark Whitley, Brandon 6. It's always a fun time watching them on the track battling. And right now, Mark Whitley going to be out front. Further back, though, Devin Smirker going to be in P3, holding off DJ Honeycutt. And Nick Silver doing a great job. What can he do to get to the front here? We know he's fast. Tires, got to save the tires a little bit. You never know if a caution will come out, but DJ Honeycutt gets loose.
Got a little loose there. I was going to talk about it. Devin Smirker in that 26 came right in the front of the nose of the 15. He had to slow down just a little bit, and then 15 coming out of the corner, got loose, dropped back about 4 spots. Jackson Anderson now sitting 7th. Matt Fleming in the 88, that Chevy. Where did he come from? He's in 6th.
Yeah, a lot of good moves here, Emery. This is crunch time right here. It's lap 110. We have 40 laps to go. Fuel should not be a concern at this point, but tires will be. Hold on to those tires. John Wright, I believe, just got spun out.
He keeps it on the track. We're clean. Another car loose. We're blinking. Yellow flags out. I think that may be a situation with some net code or a car blinking. We'll have to take another look at that. 110 laps in. We've got our caution out.
Yeah, John Wright right here kind of dives down pretty low, hits into the inside of Tyler Honeycutt.
There it is.
Yeah, Tyler and Josh Larson get together. We'll go back a little further, get a better camera angle. You can see it. John Wright saves it. And then, man, Tyler and Josh just make contact. I think it all kind of sparked from John Wright hitting the side of Tyler. Yeah, he kind of hits him. Tyler saves it, kind of moves up a little bit, and then collects the 51. So Larson does a good job holding on to it. Very, very minimal damage in that outside wall, if any. And we keep it going.
Absolutely. My screen, I thought I saw a car blinking, but I was wrong. Like you said, man, car just got involved, and Josh Larson's in the mix on this caution. Looks like his car's going to be okay. He will come in and get some tires and come back out. But 112 laps down, as we're going to restack them. Go back racing. Whitley up front, 39. Watch out, Steve. 6 got some competition. And obviously, watch out for Devin at 26 as well. This top 10 group, any driver can win.
Yeah, I feel very confident in saying the top 5 drivers right now can win this race. I think
Jackson Anderson, DJ Honeycutt.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Especially them. I mean, they've just been super impressive. Jackson, obviously, let's just call it what it is, right? He'll even tell you he's a rookie. He's not really super familiar in this car, but right now, this season in particular, just really coming out of his shell and having a really good effort. So, looking good right there. DJ Honeycutt got loose a second ago, held on to it. Right now, still is in P8. So, a great job and great effort for him. But these restarts are crazy, man. And I'll tell you what, these probably 5 or 6 drivers in the front. I mean, it's gonna come down to, I really think, just holding on to the tires, getting out front, and just holding on to that clean air. I think that's really going to be the storyline here.
Yeah, and I think someone who's going to sneak in there and be in the mix when it's all said and done is that number 54 in that Toyota, Nick Silver, 7 for Brandon Bowie. Watch out for him. He is really consistent driver, and he puts in the time. You'll see him in an Xfinity car. You'll see him in a Cup car. You'll see him on a road course.
Yeah.
He does it all. And every car he's in, he competes. So watch out for Nick Silver subbing in for Brandon today. He might be the one to come out here and get another win.
I would agree. And right now, keep in mind, Matthew Fleming in the 88 is also a Dash for Cash driver. So, and right behind him, DJ Honeycutt. So, as they sit on track, Fleming is currently the winner of that, but obviously there's still a little over 30 laps to go. So, still plenty of time to get that or change that around. Right now, Mark Whitley going to lead us back off. On lap 115, we'll go back green. So, a lot of time left to go, Emery. This is going to get crazy. Stage 1 started off pretty rough. A lot of cautions, but hopefully we don't see the same thing at the end of this race. But you never know. A lot on the line.
Yeah, these drivers up front really setting the stage. It's going to be exciting till the end. Right now, it seems like we've got quite a few laps to go, but in reality, we don't. These drivers up front, these top 10 drivers, are going to be competing and battling as much as they can to try to get this win today. A lot of competition up front. I cannot wait. Mark Whitley in that 39, that Chevy, he will take us into turn 1 and 2. Devin in the 26 in that Cardano car. Love to see it. Great looking car today. Brandon 6 in the 66. The driver out to beat this season. Can he make it happen? He's got a lot of work ahead of him. This pace car is going to jump off again. When they cross 115 laps down, we got to go to the 150 mark. Here in Milwaukee, for the Cardano 150, green flags out. Mark Whitley up front in that 39 Chevy.
Oh
Big wreck on the
my
outside.
gosh!
The 26
Oh.
is involved.
Oh no.
Nick Silver's involved. A lot of cars up front here in this caution. Unbelievable. We've got to go back and take another look.
That
Nick
was
Silver looks like he has some major damage, Steve.
yeah, that was an incredibly hard hit, I believe, for Devin Smecker in that 26. We'll go back, but that was woo, tough break for plenty of drivers. Let's go back and take a look, man. This is a lot happened here for sure.
Oof. Gotta go back just a little bit farther. That 26 may be done for the day after that contact. Big time hits there on the backstretch. Multiple cars involved here.
Yeah, we'll ride from the chopper view. That 26 on the outside. Devin Smecker dives down low, takes the inside lane behind Mark Whitley. Oh man, what happens on exit? Oh no, hits the
Touches
apron.
that grass, gets loose, just spins all the way up top. Man.
That is such a tough break for that 26 Cardano machine. Definitely hate to see that, but it can happen that fast. The apron, hit the apron, it just shoots the car loose, and man, oh man, it just goes around.
That just goes to
break.
show. That just goes to show how challenging this track can be. You make a minor mistake like that late in this race, and your day's done. I mean, he wasn't off the track by much, but to correct that car and try to get it straight, that was not the case, and unfortunately hits the wall very hard. And I'd be surprised if he can make his way back out here, Steve. Unfortunate break by him. He was consistent and confident all day long. Man, oh man.
So actually hearing, funny but not funny, actually hearing that his screen actually went black. The NVIDIA graphic driver installation pop-up happened, screen went black, and then that's all she wrote. So, man, virtual online racing, that's just one of those things that can happen, unfortunately. Internet or just, computer-related issues or software updates or things like that. So, super tough break for Devin Smecker right there. That 26, obviously a contender, potentially for the win. winning stage 2, but man, online racing, this is what it's unfortunately the evil side of it.
Yeah, and it can happen to anybody, and that's just a technical situation, man. I've had my computer shut off. I've had my screen go black. There's nothing you can do. I mean, the race goes on, you're blind, and unfortunately, that does happen on these iRacing situations. I think anyone that's been racing, doing this long enough, can tell you that it's happened to them. But unfortunate break for him in that 26 car. Man, hate to see it, but the race goes on. A little bit of mix-up up front. Mark Whitley up front still. Brandon Six in that 66. He's in second. Roger Pierce now in that 27, that Chevy. He's in third. Matt Fleming having a day in that Chevy, that number 88. He's in fourth. Jackson Anderson has made himself up 21 spots in that 83. He's sitting fifth right there next to Meeks.
You know what,
Where it all
Emery?
counts, Steve.
Emery, I'm just gonna call it, man. Jackson Anderson is my sleeper pick for today. I just think if the seas part for him, or if something crazy happens, he might be our Nick Lights winner from last week. Just kind of snuck one out. He's looking really, really good, man. I think today might be a day for him.
No, you're right, and everything's got to happen your way, and it's working for him. He's doing a great job. We are going to go back green. Mark Whitley up front in that 39. He's going to take us into turn 1. Roger Pierce in that 27. Brandon Six right behind.
Man, Roger Pierce, Brandon Six leaning on each other right now. Brandon Pierce going to get the better of it. Goes on the inside. Makes it stick right now. Further on back, though, Thomas Meeks on the outside.
This happened early in the race. Thomas Meeks got on that outside, lost a ton of spots. He's sitting 7th. Can he get back in that rotation and stay up there?
Hey, watch out, though. Nick Simpson, that 46 up to P12. Not sure where he came from, but I'll tell you what. I told you earlier, he can be impressive, and right now, looking like it. I'd love to see that, man. 12th place for Nick Simpson.
Would love to see Nick Simpson come out here and have a day, and I know the fans watching at Race Day Live would love to see that. They've been with him all season long. And Nick Simpson in that 46 come out here and get a win. A top 10 finish would be fantastic for that 46.
Nick Light's coming all the way from the back. Had some issues before. Again, dash for cash driver finds himself 11th place, gets loose right there on turn 2 in front of Nick Simpson. Man, oh man. Collects it though. We're still going green.
Jackson Anderson in that 5th position in that 83. That's your driver to pick. I'm going to pick my driver. Oh, we got a car turn. Yellow flag's going to come out.
Yeah, Richard Woodruff again. Saw him getting loose. Spun out in stage 1. Right now, looks like back again. Actually, stage 2 was spun by Fleming. And then right now, yeah, just a tough break again. This is not the day he wanted to have, Woodruff. Fast in practice, actually, for Woodruff, but just, yeah, sometimes the race just doesn't, doesn't always go how you want it. Go back and take a look here for Woodruff. So that blue number 4 right here comes down turn 1. Coming out of turn 2. Gonna get hard on the brakes here. Ooh, Scott Gasorn looks like just kind of sends him. Woodruff, unfortunately, has nowhere to go. Scott Gasorn caught him pretty quick. We'll ride back on board again from Scott Gasorn's view.
Pretty good save by him to
Oh, yeah.
not get any damage to that car. Maybe a little hit on the back, but man.
See what Scott deals with here. Maybe just a pretty hard closing rate. I mean, Woodruff is braking super early. You can, I mean, Gasorn here was still in the gas for a good maybe second, 1.5 seconds after he hit the brakes. So tough call right there. I mean, it's, when a car in front of you slows down that hardcore and you're behind him, it's a tough break. Typically the car behind is at fault, right? Just like in real life. But I mean, in a case like this, tough break. I would hate to be race control right now for that.
Yeah,
because
he's race control has been a busy man today. But you know, these cautions come out late. Here's the thing: you got Mark Whitley and Roger Pierce up front with Matthew Fleming. It can be challenging to keep having these restarts happen because you can't get back in the flow of it. If you got guys on a short run and they're fast, they can take advantage of these cautions. You got guys like Brandon Six that does a really good job on these long runs. They can make it happen.
Yeah.
Some of these other drivers as well. It kind of plays into how your racing style works. But I'm not sure if Mark likes these short runs that are happening right now.
I can't imagine he will, to be honest. I mean, it's definitely not. It can't be preferred, right? I mean, there's a lot of drivers in the front, especially that we said earlier can win the race. I mean, Mark Whitley is up here. I mean, Fleming finds himself P2. So a lot of moves. This caution, though, I would say be careful because right now, I mean, look at Brandon Six. Pulls the same thing he did in stage 2. Comes down, gets the tires. So he's going to be in a fresh set right now. Everybody in front of him can make it on fuel and whatnot. In the tires probably are decent, but Brandon Six deciding, you know what, he's going to go on the offense, gets the fresh set of tires, and see what he can do there. He can, I mean, we know he can catch these cars and potentially get back to the front, but, well, the track position and just the chaos of the mid-pack, is that going to prove to be difficult?
He's going to have 24 laps to try to make that happen when they cross. Mark Whitley up front there. Your pick was Jackson Anderson. I think I got Thomas Meeks or Dale Young. I think these two drivers are going to come out here. I think you'll see them up in that top 3 position. Who can get the one out here today?
Love
Pace
it.
cars off. Mark Whitley is going to take us away. Green flag in Milwaukee.
Yeah, great restart right there for Mark Whitley, but Roger Pierce is right behind him. Further on back, Thomas Meeks, Tyler Honeycutt. Yeah, this battle right here, this is going to rage on. Further on back, though, Nick Simpson on the outside. Josh Larson making a comeback right there in P9.
Now, we talked about it. Brandon Six there right behind Simpson. He's going to dive on the inside. Now he's got to get past Robert Hassan. Josh Larson up front right there with the 22 of Donnie.
Nick Simpson taking the scenic route way up high in turns 1 and 2.
Josh Larson making a huge run in that 51. He's now sitting in 7th position. Knocking on the door of Daryl Young in the 18, that Chevy car. Daryl Young's down below in that 18. He's going to lose a ton of spots. Brandon 6-3 wide, gets in contact with the 8.
Man, that was a really, really bold move by Brandon Six there. Took it basically 4 wide on those fresh set of tires. I can promise you his song's not happy about it, but Jonathan Wright back in the pack. Goes around. Busted engine. That's going to be it, unfortunately, for Jonathan Wright today. Man, he was having a pretty good run mid-race today, but unfortunately right here, that is going to be it for him.
Man, Brandon Six really trying to make his way through the field. Comes in, goes 3 wide, gets some contact with the number 8 of Robert. I think you'll hear some words after the race on that one. Man, oh man. That could have been a lot worse, Steve.
Ooh, Woodruff right here. Looks like he's actually potentially the culprit. Let's go back and take a look at Woodruff right here as well. Ooh, there might have been some... Hold on, let's go back even further. Oh, man, Woodruff... Yeah, he thought maybe he was clear up against Jonathan Wright. And then right here... Yeah, just kind of comes up and hits into the right. Man, oh man, that's a tough break for Wright. Woodruff, again, just continues to, unfortunately, have a pretty bad day today. And that could potentially be his 3rd strike of the day for Woodruff. We'll have to talk to race control on that, but man, oh man, that's a tough break.
If that is the 3rd strike today, it sounds like he may be parked. I believe that is what race control will do if that's the case. Well, it's been pretty hectic here, Steve, at Milwaukee. 20 laps down, gonna be about 18 to go when we go back to green. But some of these drivers, these cars are getting beat up late in this race.
Yeah,
big time hits.
Yeah, a lot is going on for sure. I mean, I talked to you pre-race and I said, you know what? I think we're going to see a lot of cautions. I do, right? I think it's just kind of the nature of this track and of the package and how loose the setup is. But at the same time, we're going to see great racing when we have it, and I think that's been the case today for sure. So it's been tough in the mid and back pack, even the front of the pack. Really good drivers capable of winning, having issues, getting loose, or having internet issues or whatnot, right? So it's just one of those tracks that you put on the calendar and you circle it, and it's going to be a wild card for I guess lack of a better word. So, and today we're seeing just that. So we'll see how this race remains. But yeah, I mean, big name drivers out of the race, and just tough. I mean, we're getting down to it. 3 races left to go after this race, and tell you what, next week at Darlington, it's not going to get any easier.
Darlington's going to be a tough one. Pocono wasn't the easiest. And then we went to Japan for the Twin Ring. That was a challenging course. I mean, everything's been a real challenge this season. Rockingham, we thought, was going to be one of the hardest tracks this season. That came out to be one of the better races we've had for the regular season. So it's kind of been a toss-up throughout this season 5. It's been great. It's been awesome competition, and I've loved every single race of it. I think today, the end of this race is going to turn out to be fantastic as well. Matthew Fleming, Roger Pierce, all these names, they're trying to battle it out to get a win today. 18 laps to go, 17 to go when they cross. Mark Whitley, Matt Fleming in the 8, your 1 and 2 spot. Mark Whitley chose to go on the inside. Matthew Fleming's going to start on the outside. Watch out for your pick, Steve. Jackson Anderson in that 83, that Chevy. He's going to start right behind on the outside of that 88.
Quick update as well. Real, Silver, Smecker, Barroso, and Watchorn all out of the race right now. So a lot still to go. 18 laps to go, 17 at the line. How's it going to end, Emery?
Anyone's driver up for grabs to get a win here today. Pace car's off. We're going back. Green flag racing.
Oh!
Jin spun early. Jackson spun.
Man, oh man. Jackson Anderson, I believe, might have money shifted here or missed a gear. Not good to see. Had such a great run going for him. Just unfortunately lost it right there. We'll go back and take a look. That's a heartbreak, though, for him.
Let's take another look. I don't know if there's some contact or possibly misshift. This is right on the restart.
Yeah, Brandon 6 also getting involved. Matt Smith. A couple different drivers here as well. We'll go back and take a look even further. Man, oh man. Even further.
Just a little further. Look at all this smoke and the cars going sideways on that restart. Here it is now. We can take a good look. Jackson's going to be that second car on the outside.
Man. Yeah, just a missed shift, unfortunately. Just, man, not good. Unfortunately for Anderson. Tough break. We'll get a better angle. We wanted to show you the onboard camera just to see if he did money shift or not, but from high above, we'll take a look. Here's the restart.
Hard to say, Steve. Larson right there in that 51 had some contact. Looks like he gave him a little bit of a double tap, but I'm not sure if it's a bad restart or a missed shift.
That's tough. I mean, yeah, it could be just a bad start. It could be. I mean, he held up that outside line pretty big, so we'll see.
Either way, Steve.
Yeah,
costly mistake for him.
Very costly. I mean, here's the thing, though. I mean, right? I mean, it takes. I feel like we talked about this last week at Pocono, right? or definitely at Twin Ring. You know, a lot of these drivers, right? They have the speed, they have the ability to win these races, but it's hard to put together a full race, right? When you have 30 drivers who, in my mind, are capable of great performances, if not wins, you know, when you get yourself in that position to try and win a race, or maybe even win a race, top 5, whatever, it takes, you know, it takes a whole next level to kind of perform your best in that scenario. And unfortunately, those, I guess, mental mistakes can happen, right? A misshift, or you know, maybe a spin out, maybe you lose, whatever it is, right? Those things happen. And, you know, at the end of the day, I mean, Jackson can hold his head up high and know that, you know what, he had a fast car today. He was faster than some of these guys who were consistently fast. Top 5 speed in my mind. I mean, he was just showing it right there. So definitely one to grow on, as they say.
Yeah, one to grow on for sure. You're right. He has he can't be down on himself. He can't be too upset. It's a long season as well. He's got to come back next week at Darlington and put on a good race. He was in the mix all day long, and it's really a testament to this league. Some leagues, you got drivers that can make mistakes like that, fall all the way back, and make their way all the way through the field. Here, you make a mistake this late in the race, it's almost impossible to do that. So right now, Steve, 13 to go. Lights are still on that pace car. 12 to go when we go back green. It's a shootout at this point. Whitley and Pierce, Fleming, Honeycutt, Meeks. I don't think this will be our last caution. We'll have another one here. These drivers, these boys are going to do everything they can to put on the line. Every single one of these top 10 drivers, I think, besides Mark Whitley, could be, and 6, could be first win of the season.
Yeah, this is very, very could be the case. I think for me right now, a couple of storylines as we're about to come one to green here is, I mean, yeah, Mark Whitley. I mean, are we going to get another sub, you know, come in and steal one? So this is storyline right there, right? A past champion comes in and maybe steals a win. Matthew Fleming, again, Dash for Cash, big storyline right now. He's currently leading that group. Tyler Honeycutt right now in that 5th spot, being next in line for that. Roger Pierce, a great recovery run. Thomas Meeks in P4. I mean, some of these guys in the top 5, top 10 really, are going for their first wins ever. So just a lot of storylines that can happen here and unfold. Brandon 6 in P8. You know, he was just involved in that mess right there. Has some damage, has some fresher tires, but again, what kind of race are we going to see these last 11 laps? Green flag laps or caution laps? If these are caution laps, that's going to hurt Brandon 6. If it's green flag laps, it's going to help Mark Whitley. So, going to be a lot of storylines here. 11 laps to go, Emery. It's crunch time.
Time will only tell now. My picks are still in there. Thomas Meeks, Roger Pierce. Can they come out with a win this season? Lights are off. 12 laps to go. Green flag's out. The 39 of Mark Whitley got a great jump on the outside. We are still green going into turn 1 and 2.
Man, Tyler just gets in behind Thomas Meeks. Some contact right there. They both keep it going, though. Great job. Great recovery. But that was almost a wreck.
Tyler Honeycutt goes all the way off the track, comes back in front of Josh Larson. They're still green. Brandon 6 is doing everything he can to try to get through this traffic. He knows he's running out of time. Oh,
Walsifer, hard hit.
He is off the track. Oh, it is going to cause a caution here.
Oh, my.
And I think that's one of the situations we talked about where if you come off that turn, you may find yourself in those pits. That was a big contact hit for him as well.
Yeah, so actually caution comes out for Scott Casor, and we'll cover him in a second. But yeah, tough break. Let's go back and find out what happened to Walsifer real fast. Walsifer just, oh gosh, just like Corvo earlier, has nowhere to go. Hate to laugh about it, but it's, man, just slides and...
That could be the wreck of the year. I mean, that's the biggest contact I've seen all season, but unfortunate for him. He is done for the day, but let's go up further maybe after this look. Oh,
man.
The day's done with that.
Yeah, Scott
This is what brought the caution out, yeah.
We'll go back once again, focus on Gasorn right now. Oh, so he's the one that actually got involved with Walsifer. Oh, and then Scott Gasorn. Man, Villalobos in Gasorn right there. Ooh, I don't know about that one. Let's go back.
That was a little bit of a domino effect, man. Early on, Richard gets out of place here. Looks like there's contact right here. He's in the pits. That gets him loose. He's into the 7. Huh.
My, oh my. Tell you what, patience is absolutely wearing thin right now for a lot of these drivers. And it's showing. It's you know, it's unfortunate, obviously. 8 laps to go. Mark Whitley's still leading this race. This has got to be frustrating for, I mean, Roger Pierce, Fleming, Smith, all these drivers trying to get up to the front and try and get to a win right now. But man, just caution after caution. I think we expected this for this, you know, for this race. But man, I mean, Mark Whitley, this is why you get to the front and stay there, because you know, if it comes to this, you get such a big advantage by having that restarting from the first position that you know, you can't be touched.
Yeah, track position is king right now. 7 to go as the pace car's out. Another driver who's probably frustrated is Brandon 6. He's been trying to make his way through the field. Every time he gains a couple spots, that caution comes out. He slowly made his way back to 5th position. He, I believe, started around 13th or 14th when he went and got some tires. But as it sits, I think you want to be up front. I think you want to be ahead, because track position, like I said, is going to be the best case scenario. Thomas Meeks back in there in that 6th position, that 55 car. Can he make a run? Nick Lights, Josh Larson, Tyler Honeycutt, Robert Hassong in the 8. He's up 18 spots. He's sitting 10th. It's a shootout, Steve. That's what's going to happen. It's going to be a crazy one, too.
And hey, the funny thing about this is that a lot of people don't know this. We mentioned it actually at the Indy Road Course, but Mark Whitley here obviously ran with us last season, season 4, won the championship. But this season has actually been typically the spotter for Darrell Young Jr. So right now, currently in 14th spot. Typically the spotter for him, and right now comes out, has an opportunity to sub in for a driver, Joseph Mealy, who's not here tonight, and might sneak away with a win here at the Milwaukee Mile. Obviously, it's kind of funny because, you know, in the sense of like a Roger Pierce, you know, typically Mark is a teammate of sorts, and so Roger going to try and steal one from his teammate Spotter, essentially. So we'll see what he has for him. But man, these restarts, they are just hoping that this thing stays green so they can get just around him or challenge him for something.
That would be a first for us to have 2 subs go back-to-back wins. If Mark Whitley can hang on and get a win today, he's got a lot of drivers behind him that want to track him down and get this win. Roger Pierce being one of them. He's going to start on the inside. I think that's the right call right now. I think if you're going to choose, that inside is going to be where you want to be. It's going to be a shootout late in this race. You've seen some drivers on the outside kind of get caught up, and they can't stay with the flow, and they drop a few spots. You have Mark Whitley, Roger Pierce, Brandon 6, those 3 drivers on the inside, followed by Thomas Meeks in that 55. If they can get a good jump, it's going to be hard to track them down. Steve, when we go back, green flag racing, we're going to have 4 to go. If another caution comes out, we're going to have a green, white, checkered flag.
That's right.
I think all these top 3 drivers right now want it to go green. They can try to get this win out here. Anything can happen. It's been a wild ride. This race is coming to an end, Steve. Pace car is going to come off the track. Let's see who can get a win out here today in Milwaukee.
Four laps to go right now. Mark Whitley going to try and take this away. Has a great lead right now, as the leaders always get on the restarts. But man, can Roger Pierce track him down for his first win of the season? Oh, Matt Smith about to go around here.
Gets bumped by the 29. That's going to bring out another caution. We're going to have a green-white checkered flag. Looks like the 12 got some contact in the back of that car.
Yeah, Nicolette's right there. Definitely the culprit. Got behind and got into that number 29 of Matt Smith. Matt Smith having a great race too. Man, that just all goes to waste right there. Unfortunately, we'll go back and take a look. Also hearing that Nicholas Simpson actually wrecked as well, so we'll take a look back at that in a second. Go a little further back. Apologize for that. Yeah, Nick Lights just gets right into a mid corner. Matt unfortunately couldn't hold on to it. Nick Simpson as well going around. We'll follow up on him now as well.
Yeah, just gets a little loose. The 8 and the 15 gets some serious contact there. And then as they try to just get back into the throttle, I think he comes back up into the 46. Oh, 46 just gets loose. Huh. Interesting there, Steve.
Yeah, 46 maybe saw the Matt getting spun or turned and tried to maybe woe it up early, but couldn't quite do that. So either way, hey, 3 laps to go. It's a natural green-white checkered. Actually, this might be our very first official green-white checkered. So this is what it comes down to, Emery. I mean, hey, we said it about 15 laps ago. If you're Mark Whitley, you kind of want to see these restarts happening over and over again, because you just get such a great restart being in that first position, and the track is so short that you can really make it work. And this could be, what it takes for Mark to get that win.
No, you're right. Mark's getting these huge jumps, and then close to that end of that first lap, he's getting caught up, and Roger Pierce is right on tail, and Matt Fleming's right there as well. 6 is in striking distance. He is right there. He can try to get this win. I think he still is going to run out of time. If something happens on that white flag, obviously they're going to stay green, and the race will not stop. It continues. So if there is a wreck on the white flag, Mark Whitley, Matt Fleming, Roger Pierce all up front when they're battling, it's anybody's game. We got to see what can happen here, as we do have our first green-white checkered flag finish. If this does not finish on the first one, we do have another one. We'll rack them and start again. A lot of cautions today, but it's been a difficult track. A lot of hard racing, a lot of door-to-door. Just been frustrating for the drivers. I could say that. There's a lot of big names out late in this race that were doing really well. But that is the name of the game in this race today. Milwaukee has been challenging for everyone here. Steve, definitely want to be on the inside, right? Mark was going to get that big jump.
Yeah, I think so.
Tyler Honeycutt's right there too. Guys like Thomas Meeks, I think it's still anybody's game though. It's almost out of their reach, but I still think they can make it happen.
Absolutely. Right now, first green and white checkered flag. Again, we all know how it works. Mark Whitley, can he steal a win as a sub? Let's watch it unfold.
Mark Whitley's got to really hang on to this. He's got to get a really good jump as well. Pace car's going to roll off. We're going to go back green. Can we do it one more time? Mark Whitley does get a good jump. He's going to take us into turn 1 and 2. Roger Pearson at 27 right behind, as Brandon 6 got a good jump. He's going to be sitting in 3rd. 27 gets loose in front. He's got to back out of it. Here comes the battle, Steve. Mark Whitley, Brandon 6. Are we going to see this race unfold like we saw in Season 4? Still got to get a hold of him, though. Whitley way up front. White flag is out.
Tyler Honeycutt. This is for the Dash for Cash. Gets around. Fleming might have given him the bumper. Either way, he's going off. Mark Whitley, though, not enough time for Brandon Six to catch him. Mark Whitley gonna come around, take the checkered flag for the Cardano 150, and steals the win away at the Milwaukee Mile.
Congratulations to Mark Whitley. Brandon Six in second. Couldn't track him down. Tyler Honeycutt in that number 3, that Chevy. He's finished third. Josh Larson, the 51. He finished fourth. And Matt Fleming in the 88. He finished 5. That's your top 5s right there.
Hey, and right there, Tyler Honeycutt. Man, last lap, slightly suspicious move on Matthew Fleming. Makes it happen and gets around him to get the Dash for Cash win. Great job with that number 3 pink machine. But Mark Whitley comes in. Another driver comes in and subs in for a Flagship Motorsports driver.
I think they're onto something there.
I think so. Steals the win away. Nick Lights last week. Mark Whitley this week. That 39 MB in roofing. Tell you what, those boys are happy today. Season 4 champion Mark Whitley comes in. Not playoff eligible, obviously. Not this win is just basically for trophy hunting, but hell, tell you what, impressive performance for Whitley.
Man, go down the line a little bit too. Daryl Young in that 8th position. Thomas Meeks finished 7th. Robert Hassong, he finishes 6th. Julio came back. He's in that 78, finished 10th. As we're looking at Whitley in that 39, still burning it down.
Yeah, Emery, we talked about it earlier in the race. Top 5 guys who you maybe didn't expect. I mean, Brandon 6 P2 tried that tire strat. Maybe would have worked if we had green flag pit stops, but right there, obviously couldn't make it happen. But Tyler Honeycutt, P3, incredible run right there for him. Dash for Cash winner. We'll be talking to him in just a second. Josh Larson, a super good run. After everything he's gone through today, I'll tell you what, he's going to be pumped up for that. Very, very good job for him. And then Matthew Fleming, P5.
Yeah, Matt Fleming, he's been right in that mix. He stayed alive. He's in 5th position in the 88. Love to see it.
Thomas Meeks rolling off P6. Another impressive performance by him. Robert Hassong, 7th place. Daryl Young Jr., 8th place. DJ Honeycutt, 9th. And then to your point, Julio Villalobos, 10th place. Nick Simpson, I believe with a career high P11th place finish. The chat is going to explode in just a second. I'll tell you what, awesome run for him. Great job. Richard Woodruff, even after his tough race today, P12. Roger Pierce got loose right there at the end, P13 for him. Scott Casorn, 14th place. Nick Lights going to be in 15th place. That'll round out your top 15. Right now, folks, we'll hit our channel sponsors, go and thank them. We'll come back and we'll talk to our top 3.
And we are back here in Milwaukee. We're going to get Tyler Honeycutt in here. Your P3 finisher. Tyler, you got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
How we doing? Not only did you finish top 3 today, you also are a Dash for Cash winner. Tell us about the race, man. I know it was a long one. It was full of some cautions, but you got to be happy with that top 3 position today, and also getting some money, $30 in your pocket, being a Dash for Cash winner.
Yeah, man. Coming into the race, my car felt like crap. I was not well prepared. I did not have a good idea as to what was going to happen. So I was just coming in here to survive, ride around, and try to gain some points. And I was able to gain like 11, 12 stage points. Finish top 3. I didn't mean to hit Matt there at the end. I was trying to shift down and it would not shift, and I ran right into the back of him and just ran him over. So I feel bad for that, but I'll take a top 3 and I'll take Dash for Cash any day. I just wish I didn't have to do it that way.
Absolutely. Tyler Honeycutt in your top 3, your 3 finisher. Tyler, do you want to thank anybody before you get out of here?
Yeah, I want to thank my team, my dad, my brother. They did a hell of a job. The DJ got caught in that big wreck. He came back to finish 8 minutes of optional there, so good to him. My dad ran a good race. And then I want to thank, all the people that watch, you guys. I want to thank my guy who made my paint scheme, Chris. And then obviously I have everybody on the hood of my family that has or had breast cancer. So it's nice to have them ride with me for this top 3.
Absolutely love that car. Fantastic paint scheme, and congratulations to you, Tyler. We will see you next week.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. You have a good one.
All right. That is Tyler Honeycutt, your Dash for Cash winner, and getting $30 a day, finishing top 3. Next, we'll bring in Brandon 6 in the 66. Brandon, you got a copy?
I do. How's it going, fellas?
Good, man. Brandon, you were right up front early on in this race. You took some tires. You fell back to around 13th, 14th. I think you just ran out of time. It was a battle for you trying to get through the field. What were your thoughts on this race today?
Yeah, it was definitely not the greatest. I needed long runs, honestly. I felt like that's where I would have dominated, I feel like, in this race. And I kind of showed it a little bit in stage 3 when we had that one decent run. And I thought we were actually going to have some green flag pit stops, which kind of screwed me because I had myself set up for green flag pit stops. And I ended up taking 2 tires, that one yellow, and which allowed Whitley to get around me and kind of dictated what I had to do there towards the end of it. And I was kind of like, screw it. I'm going to come down here with like 25 to go and take 4 tires and see if I can work my way back up there in time. But I kind of needed to stay green for me to, I think, to run him down and have a shot at it. So unfortunately, just too many cautions there at the end.
Yeah, those restarts for Mark Whitley, he was getting way ahead, and it was just hard for you to track him down. You got to be happy with P2. Brandon 6, you want to thank anybody, your sponsors, before you get out of here?
Yeah, I got to thank Battle Beaver, Bowie Esports, Steve for putting on this league, and obviously you guys for putting on this broadcast.
Absolutely. Well, we'll see you next week. Thank you again, and congratulations.
Yep, thanks, guys. Have a good one.
That was Brandon 6, your P2 finisher in that Battle Beaver 66. But we will bring in our winner, Mark Whitley, subbing today in that 39, that MB roofing car. Mark Whitley, you got a copy?
Gotcha.
Mark, how are we doing, man? Good finish. Congratulations to you on a P1. What was your strategy? I know late in this race you were out front getting big restarts. I think some of these guys like 6 and Honeycutt were run out of time because of late cautions. But what were your thoughts on the race?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I've only run here, I think, one other time, and I just really like the track. It kind of reminds me a little bit of New Hampshire. There's pretty much one groove, maybe a groove and a half down there on that black strip of asphalt. So, if you miss that you were just going to lose so much time through the center. So it was just about, trying to hit your marks. And I felt like we were, me, Brandon, and Devin were all in the top 3. I think we were all fastest. I think pretty much it was going to be whoever got out front was going to be the, fastest at the 3 of us, because clean air is just king with this car. So, it was just, about taking your time, not getting caught up in any wrecks. We halfway gambled there, would tend to go before the last stage, just trying to make sure we didn't get in traffic after the stage. It worked out a little bit. And a little bit later, we had that little green flag run. We all pitted, and I don't know if Brandon meant to do it, but he took 2 and I took 4, and I was able to get around him really easily. And after that, it was just about smooth sailing, and we just kept getting so many cautions. It really helped out because I know he pitted, and it was pretty much, they were just going to run out of time to get up there. And he finally got to second, but it was too late. We were already on the white flag, and all these restarts and stuff cooled the tires down. They were almost good as new for about 2 or 3 laps, even 15, 20 lap old tires. So I knew as long as I got a clean jump and didn't completely wreck myself or something, that I'd have a good shot at getting the win. It was just about hurrying up and getting to the damn checkered flag because I felt like it was taking forever there at one point.
Yeah, well, you put yourself in the right position at the right time. And again, late in this race, just was ahead of the field. No one could catch you. Good break by you, and good job today. Fantastic job. You want to thank your sponsor before you get out of here?
Oh yeah, big shout out to Brantley Harpoon Design. Actually worked out because he designed this car too, so worked out and was able to still run one of his beautiful machines that he does. So check him out, harpoondesign.com. Shout out to Joseph for letting me race for him tonight. Hopefully I did him proud. Get the win. Really like being out here. Might make another 1 or 2 starts this season with somebody else needing a sub, so we'll see. Shout out to my, I don't really know how you would describe it. I guess my teammates, but I guess technically they weren't my teammates in this race. Yeah, it's kind of hard to describe how that works with these sub deals, but Daryl, Roger, all of them. Roger was really helping me on those restarts, helping me just stay clear of all those cars on fresh tires. So I really appreciate his help. And shout out to you guys putting on the broadcast. I know a lot of cautions. I don't know if we broke the record, but it felt like we were out there for a long time. So I'm sure y'all made the broadcast really entertaining, and can't wait to go back and watch. And I might have to skip through some of the cautions, but I'll watch the majority of the race, I promise. I think the only thing I have left to do, I think Daryl wants some Wendy's, so I gotta go grab him a Baconator and some chili.
Ooh.
Hopefully I don't have to wait too far in line for it. So.
Well, congratulations again, Mark, on the win today. Fantastic job, and we will see you again. Are you subbing next week?
I think I'm subbing for Road America. I don't know about next week, but I like
Spoiler alert.
So somebody. I didn't
You
say
heard it
for who.
first.
I got like 4 people that wanted me to sub for them, so I ain't picked yet. So.
Absolutely. Well, go celebrate, have fun, and congratulations again.
Sounds good. Hey, Steve, get some good pictures again.
Oh boy, here we go.
Later.
That's Mark Whitley in that Harpoon Designs car, subbing today, getting this win. Fantastic job, Steve. What a doozy today, man. Milwaukee has been a marathon. We saw some good racing. We saw not so good racing. We saw some cautions. We saw, a lot of different things going on in this race today.
Honestly, this was exactly what I expected to see. I mean, I actually expected this kind of at Rockingham, like a million cautions, but also some really, really good racing when we had it. And today was kind of that story, right? A lot of cautions, a lot of getting loose, a lot of just, the track is tough. It really is. It's meant to be tough. That's why it's on the schedule. And but really, really good racing up at the front when we had green flag racing, middle of the race. And overall, interesting to see these cars on this track for sure. But hey, sometimes you get to throw in some challenges for the season. And right now we're getting down to it. Next week is Darlington, followed by Road America, and then Talladega. So 3 very, very different racetracks to bring us down to the end of our regular season. It's going to be a lot of good times, Emery, as we wind this out.
Yeah, I cannot wait for Darlington. That's going to be just a new dynamic to this season. Fantastic job for Mark Whitley to come out here and get this win. Brandon 6, Tyler Honeycutt. Those are 2 and top 3 drivers. Big thanks, big shout out to everybody at home. Race Day Live, thanks for tuning in. We had huge viewership. To all of our sponsors, Admin Box, Units Moving Portable Storage, Battle Beaver, Harpoon Designs, Sim Motion, and obviously Cardano. Awesome sponsorship today for Milwaukee for the 150. Love to see that. I cannot wait for race number 12 in Darlington. It's going to be a show. Thanks again for tuning in. We will see you next week. Good night.